Okay, drop it or object exchanges is what we're going to talk about next. So drop it says whatever's in your mouth, spit it out. I don't care if it's a toy that you get to play with, if it's a bone I need you to give up, if it's something disgusting you found out on the sidewalk on our walk, if it's a shoe that you're not supposed to have, doesn't matter what it is. If it's in your mouth and I ask you to drop it, you need to spit it out immediately. Okay, so there's a couple of different ways we're going to work on that. First, I want to think about building cooperation. Typically, especially with puppies, we have a puppy in our house, they're always getting into stuff, they're always checking stuff out, putting it in their mouth. We tend to take stuff away, but not give stuff back. So they tend to look at us as the bad guy who's always taking out of the equation, always taking away, but never contributing to. So what I want to think about is building cooperation when I work on drop it, so that I'm giving something of value when I take something away. So one way to do that is a trade. So if my dog has something I don't want them to have, or I just want to practice them giving it up, maybe it is something that they do get to have, but I just want to practice that drop it. I'm going to offer something of value that's worth giving up what they have. So I'm going to offer him a toy. I'm going to see if he'll catch it. So I'm going to offer him a trade. Tess, drop. Very nice. Good job. Ready, get it. Where's the toy? Get the toy. Go get it. Go get it. Tazzy, get the ball. Get the ball. Tazzy. Tazzy, get the ball. Oh, good job, buddy. Whoops, whoops. Drop. Good. Ready? Get the ball. Get the ball. Drop. Good. So in this case, I'm offering food as a trade item. He's more than willing to drop the ball in exchange for food. I need to offer something that's of value to trade for. So if the ball is high value, I need to offer something of equal or greater value to trade. So in this case, he's getting something else in exchange for giving up what he's got. Drop. Good. You're cheating, no? Thank you, that's a good boy. Over here, Tess. Sit. Good boy, right? Yeah. So Tess is used to playing fetch, so he's used to dropping the ball already to get exchange for food. For him, it might also work to use another ball. Since he really loves to play fetch, if I had another ball, he'd be very willing to drop it in exchange for me throwing the other ball. So I've got to have something of value to offer. So in this case, Tazzy likes to play fetch, so even just playing fetch for him is a reward. Ready, Tess? Get the ball. Get the ball. Tess, drop it. Good. Ready? Get it. Tess, drop. Good. Very nice. So there's lots of ways to add value. So I need to make sure, though, that whatever I'm offering in exchange, if I'm offering a trade, that it's something worth trading for. If, let's say I just dropped a steak on the floor I was going to put on the grill, dropped, dog grabbed it. If I offer him kibble in exchange for that steak, he's probably not going to accept it. It's not a worthwhile trade. So I need to make sure whatever I'm offering is worth the exchange that I'm offering. Now, I have another way to work on drop it, and that's during play. Play with, usually with tug, sometimes with fetch, but with tug, what I can do if I have a dog who likes to play tug with a tug toy is once I've got that toy and they've got a hold, I'm going to hold tight, I'm going to say drop it, and I'm just going to hold so there's no tugging action happening and wait for them to release. So once they release, then I'll ask them to sit or do something else and we'll play again. So in that case, I'm not offering a trade. Play is the reward. So in that case, they're getting to re-engage in the game of tug. Now Tazzy loves to play fetch, so for him, fetch is going to be a good trade. So if, ready, get the ball, get the ball, bring the ball, bring it here, Tess, bring the ball. Good job. Drop, get the ball, go get the ball. Typically with the dogs, so good job, ready? Get the ball. Typically with the dogs who play fetch, it takes a little practice to get this drop it happening at first. So a lot of times they will need a food trade to get this going. But oftentimes if you have another ball, and usually if it's the same kind of ball, equal balls, they'll often drop the one for you to throw the other one. So think about what they like to play, and we can start to use play as a way to build in a good solid drop it. I know you like fetch. You play tug? You play tug? Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh, there you go, there you go. Okay, so I'm playing some tug with Tazzy. Good job, Taz. Get it, get it, Taz. Get it, Taz. Get it, get it, get it, get it. You wanna play? You wanna play? You wanna play with me? Good job. Get it, Tazzy. Get it, Tazzy. Get it, Tazzy. Good job. Good job, Doug. Good job. Good job. Let it, Taz. Let it, Taz. Oh, good job, buddy. Good job. Oh, good job, Duggan. Good job. Tazzy, drop. Drop. Good boy. Tazzy, sit. Get it. Good job. Good job, buddy. Good job, buddy. Good job. Get it. Get it. Get it, Tazzy. Get it, Tazzy. Good job. Oh, good boy. Let it. Oh, I'm gonna get it. Good job, Duggan. Good job. Good job, Duggan. Good job. Nice. Ready, Taz? Tazzy, drop. So I'm going to hold it nice and tight. I'm just going to wait for him to release. Good. Tazzy, sit. Good job. Good boy. Good job, Taz. Okay. So what I'm looking for with Tug is we're getting the game going. He's enjoying the game. When I want him to drop, I tighten up on it and make sure there's no more tugging action happening. I say drop and I just wait him out. I'm not prying it out of his mouth. I don't want to take it away. I want him to voluntarily give it up. So what I'm looking for is him to release. Either he's releasing to get a better grip, or he's releasing because there's no more fun happening, because there's not any action happening. Once he releases it, then he can either sit and play the game again, or I might end with a treat and give a reward for giving that up. But typically I'm using tug, I'm using the game of tug as the reward instead of offering a trade. Okay? Good job, Tazzy.